of FA-18 practice sessions, basically. We're not really doing training anymore. We're just practicing landing on the carrier. I've learned a bunch of stuff over the last day and little tips and tricks on how to get onto the carrier using the tools at hand. So we're going to try to do a single pass, a single loop around the carrier and land catching the wires the first time. I previously thought I was recording this video, but I didn't, and I did land it the first time, but now I got to do it again because I didn't record. So let's go ahead and try again, and hopefully we can be consistent. Let's go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to ATC. Well, I'm going to fix my throttle because it always sets your throttle at something ridiculous. Then I'm going to go to the
Marshall 308. Marking Mops 18048. Angels 1.5. State 5.2.
74X. 74, I forgot to hit
308 Mother's weather is visibility 10 plus miles. Scattered clouds at 9,000. Altimeter is 2,993. Case 1 recovery expected DRC 354. Report see me at 10.
308. See you at 10.
Okay, we're already at almost 800 feet because I was too busy messing around with the cockpit controls.
308. State 5.2.
Okay. All of our stuff set up. Now we're just waiting to pass by the carrier. All right, we got our hook down. No, hook is not down. Always got to make sure I check that because you can waste an entire landing by just forgetting to put down the hook. Go through all that stuff. You stick it perfectly, and then you roll over it, and you're like, "What? That was like a perfect landing." And then you look down, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't drop my hook." So another step I need to add to my landing process is bringing up the checklist down on that page there, but I haven't gotten around to working that into my routine yet. But we know the hook is down now. We're right around 800 feet, almost 350 knots. So we're waiting until 1.5 miles from the carrier. Once that hits 1.5, we'll drop the speed brake, hold back the throttle, drop the speed brake, and make our turn. Okay. Throttle, speed brake, turn, hands on the controls, ready for the flaps and gear once we hit 240. Didn't pull quite as hard as I wanted to in the initial part of that, but that's okay. Make it work. 250, drop the gear and the flaps. That's 180. Roll out on the 180 heading as close as I can, given my skill set that I have. Lack thereof, however you want to say it. Start pitching up to get the E bracket to come down into. All right, so the E bracket's not coming down anymore. It means I have too much throttle. So let's pull back on the throttle and start pitching up on the trim. We are trying to get the velocity vector inside the E bracket by pitching up into it. Now that we're relatively set, we shouldn't have any more. Once you get your pitch trim set inside the E bracket, you shouldn't have to really touch the trim anymore after that. I'm sure in rougher weather you probably do, but for now, in this calm weather that we're working in right now, I shouldn't have to touch the trim anymore. And I shouldn't have to pull back or do anything on the throttle. On the stick, I should only be making throttle inputs and left and right and roll inputs at this point. Okay, we're waiting to see the end of the carrier. Okay, I see the end of the carrier. We're going to make our 30-degree left turn, and we're going to add power to make sure that our velocity vector stays right under the horizon. Allowing it to turn a little too sharp. Well, I don't know. We're pretty close to the carrier. I can probably afford a slightly sharper turn. Still haven't really worked out positioning on my downwind leg yet. Let me pitch up a little bit. My velocity vector is a little bit too. I like to keep my velocity vector either at the line or a little bit above the line. Okay. Yeah, we still ended up. I was way too close to the carrier when I started my roll, so. Alright. Hook's down, gear and flaps are down. Now, I'm just trying to get lined up with the carrier. 3/4 of a mile. We would normally call the ball here.
You're lined up right.
And it doesn't give me the option for that, so I'm not sure why. Okay. caught the wire. That was the number 3 wire, which I believe is the wire we really want to try to catch. So hooks up, wings are up. Get ourselves out of the way of the landing of incoming aircraft, and we'll stop over here and park, and then we'll be done. Okay. And that's it for that. We are parked, ready to go, and normally we would do a shutdown sequence, but you guys have seen enough of this video, and you guys have seen enough of me trying to practice on the carrier, so I feel confident enough now that I can proceed with the remaining training sessions, and once we're done with those, maybe we can actually start doing some full-on missions. So thanks for sticking with me through this training stuff. Hopefully the things that I've messed up and subsequently learned to fix are helping you, and yeah, so see you next time, guys. Hope you guys have a great day.